And welcome to Home Nurseries. Today's talk will be about winter flowering plants and scented shrubs for the winter. Chamomales mollis. This is a variety called Pallida. It's a stalwart of the winter gardens. There's a beautiful spider chrome yellow flowers with a slightly darker scented. The perfume on cold days you're not going to get it, but if you take a branch off and take it inside the house, those volatile oils will come out and you'll get the perfume cascading through your rooms and adding an additional treat. So you could bring a bit of winter colour in and perfume into your house. Chamomales, give it the right position, bit of shelter, a little bit of light shade and fertile soil. A really beautiful shrub. I would really recommend Chamomales. So lots of different colour varieties available as well. We've now got not only in yellow but into the oranges and other tonings as well, which are just over there. Other useful winter flowering plants, very popular, and you'll probably see a lot in gardens, particularly if you're walking around. You'll see something like the winter flowering Viburnums. This is a variety called Viburnum tinus Lisa Rose. It's one of my particular favourites. There's a lovely corym with a darker pink flower bud on the edge of it, and then it opens up to a nice white. It doesn't have a particularly strong perfume, but it's still a very beautiful shrub to have into the garden. Very easy maintenance. Useful as a screening plant as well. So if you want to hide something, useful for that. They haven't come out in flower yet, but we've also got some of the Skimmias. These are a useful winter flowering shrub. The buds are set in the autumn. They will hold all the way through until they come into start breaking bud and come to a whitish flower towards the end of February, and then they'll have a really quite a pleasant perfume to them at the same time as well. But if you want something to cheer up not only your autumn garden and your winter garden, you'll also get something for the spring. A useful evergreen as well. Very versatile, can grow really well in your borders and in your containers as well, where you can put some zing in there, particularly near your doors. I'd like to show you another one. It's one of my personal favourites, are the Sarcococcas. These are the winter flowering box plants. I think it's one of those top 10 plants that's always underestimated, and it should be in any and every good garden. Happily grow in a container or in the ground, go in shade. Again, you get those flowers will come through, and you'll be able to take the odd branch off it, take it inside, pop it in a bud vase, and you'll enjoy the perfume as well. Our most popular winter flowering shrubs is a Mahonia. This is a Mahonia japonica belii. Wonderful chrome yellow flowers, and I can already, my head's 18 inches away, the perfume's already filling my nose, and I'm enjoying the intoxicating perfumes of something like this. A really useful evergreen shrub for the garden. Put it towards the middle, the back of the borders, because it will become a majestic size. Right? Lovely thing. One of our not true winter flowering, but really early flowering plants in the spring and a delight for those gardens are some of the Daphnes. These are a family of plants which I think are worth growing and worth exploring. This one on the right is Daphne Mezereum. It flowers on the bare stems with a lovely pink flower. Makes an elegant size shade plants and shrub in the garden. One of the more modern varieties of Daphnes now available are the ones which come from America, transatlantic hybrids. This is one called Eternal Fragrance. Nice and compact in their nature, evergreen, reliably hardy. Last year, in January, locally, when we had -8, a lot of plants failed. This one was absolutely thriving, and it continued to flower as well. It's a variety that will flower on the new growth. So when that flower finishes, the new growth will come out, and for a few weeks, it will flower on top again. These may start flowering usually about in late spring, and they'll go all the way through until the autumn. And you can see this is the middle of January now, and we're still getting flowering performance on the plants as well. A very useful plant for the garden. Doesn't get too big on it. Real beauty. Extremely useful plants for a shady border underneath trees where you get a bit of light shade and woodland conditions. Becoming very, very popular are the Hellebores, the Hellebore families. This is one of Helleborus niger. It's a white flowering form, with little golden anthers on it. Very useful because these come out in flower, and you'll find bees will work over them that come out of early hibernation and use them for a little bit of foraging as well. This one, we've left the leaves on it. Sometimes you can remove the foliage on the plant just to expose the flowers fully, and you'll get a slightly better flowering performance from them. Now this one is, as I say, Hellebore niger. We've now today just received some new varieties bred by a gentleman called Eric Smith. These are the Frost Kiss series of Hellebores. They were crossbred with Corsica, which gives this dramatic marbling through the foliage on the plant there. We find it's a very stalwart, hardy plant, but the flowers when they come through are absolutely stunning. And when you get in closely to those flowers, you'll see the real detail in there and the veining on them as well. This is probably the most popular, which is Anna's Red. Absolutely stunning. This is a newer break. This one is Glendale's Choice, and it's got a lovely crushed cerise edging to the petal, and it holds that inside bud, and eventually it will come out and give you a fuller flower, but retain that edging to it as well. A real beautiful looking plant, and lots of buds on these to come as well. Other plants that we mentioned earlier was Skimmia rubella, which is a plant that will set the flower buds in the autumn from memory, and you'll get the flower plumes that will open up in very early spring perfume. This is a male clone, so it has the showy flowers but no berries. What we've got in stock now is a new variety called Pobella. This is a hermaphrodite, so it will self-pollinate. So you'll end up with a really pretty flower show. But the best thing about it, you're going to get these stunning red berries on the plant. And in the middle of winter, the gloss on the colour on those will just stand out in any of your pots and containers in the border. Really majestic evergreen. Great for winter colour. So we looked at earlier was a Hellebore Frost Kiss series, which were bred by Eric. This is one of the forms coming through now. We've taken the foliage off it, and the flowers have actually are now coming through in tight bud, and they'll be opening shortly once the weather warms up a little bit. But this can show you something what it would look like in your garden. They've been beautifully mulched as well, and we put a feature timber beside as well, just to enhance the overall effect of this area. Really beautiful. Plants in the garden is Sarcococca rustifolia. This one at the moment is just coming into flower bud, just coming through, and the perfume, that rich musky smell, is coming out. We put it by a pathway so people can enjoy it as they walk past it as well. But we want to pick out on there is once those berries are finished, the flowers are finished, you then get quite a beautiful berry. Start off red, and as they mature, they'll turn black, and then the birds will come along and enjoy foraging on these as well. And they'll do that over January and February. Very useful, very valuable plant. I think it's a must for every serious gardener, and should go in every garden. A very versatile and useful winter flowering shrub that's highly perfumed is the winter flowering honeysuckle. This is Lonicera fragrantissima. Lovely pale flowers on there with golden anthers. The perfume is citrusy, lemony, really exquisite. We've got it planted by a pathway so our people who are walking by can enjoy the perfume at the same time. Beautiful winter